Controller versus keyboard and mouse. A tale as old as Jenks. Since the beginning of Apex Legends, there's been an input war between the player base. M&K players are upset that controller players have aim assist. Controller players are upset at the advantages keyboard and mouse players have over them. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the discussion, maybe share a laugh or two, and quite possibly put this battle of the inputs to rest. If you guys like this video at all, be sure to leave a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to try to put out 2 to 3 videos every week of content that doesn't suck, alright? So if you want to come along with me on this journey, that'd mean a lot to me. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy the video. Before we get into the discussion, I want to make 2 points. Number 1, there are 2 types of aim assist. Controller players on PC have an aim assist value of 0.4 and console players have a value of 0.6. Recently, console players have been given the option to change their aim assist value to 0.4 like their counterparts on PC. However, for those that don't, that's a 50% increase, and trust me, as someone who began on console and switched to PC, it is a very noticeable difference. Number 2, I personally feel that console players should not be allowed in PC lobbies because I'll admit that console aim assist on a PC server is crazy, dude. Not to mention the desync that occurs, which often allows console players to land shots they shouldn't. If console players want to come over to PC, then they should play on PC rules. Drop that down to 0.4 and let's see how they do. If they do well, you know, hopefully they're able to save up and get a PC and compete where they should. But until then, either nerf it to 0.4 or keep console off a PC server straight up. Now, for the fun stuff. Let's dive into the controller versus keyboard and mouse slander on various social media platforms. Leading off, let's start with the doc. With crossplay becoming the norm for FPS games, aim assist is becoming a huge issue. We need some devs prioritizing balance between the 2 inputs. I'm gonna break something. Then we got Nick Mercs. You're gonna get fucking rolled either way, old man. That's on everything. Hashtag controller gang. Then we have the one and only Daltouche. Are we ready to have the conversation that mouse and keyboard is 5 times better than controller in Apex, or are we still saying controller OP? You know, that's facts. I'm not even going to argue with Touche. It really is facts. However, only certain people benefit from the clear advantages of mouse and keyboard. Not every little Timmy is going to get it. Now we have user J Miles tweeting out, okay, I have 2 years experience on M&K on Apex and get wiped by my controller godfriend. I switched to controller with only 3 weeks experience and win over twice as much as I did on M&K even with my bad controller movement. I'm not saying nerf aim assist, I'm just saying that's a problem. And while I can agree with this point to a certain extent, this is only going to get you so far in casual matches. You know, get your ass thrown into pred lobbies on PC where you're going up against the whole ALGS circuit. You know, the controller's only going to hold you so much. You know, a lot of these lobbies, the end game is ridiculous. Especially for an inexperienced player, not that you would be in that in pred. But in casual matches, sure, aim assist is going to help you a lot. But when you play people of the same skill level or above, you're not going to get held. You're not. Now we have No Coco. Pro Coco, yo Coco. Replying to a tweet, aim assist goes to 0.3 and we lose tap strafe. A fair deal in my opinion. Daltouche coming in when motherfuckers really out here still complaining about aim assist in Season 9 SMH. See, I see what Noka's putting down on the table. He wants a 0.1 nerf of aim assist. I think he was making a funny joke for the impressions, as he got. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Tap strafing is not essential to the game as, you know, aim assist is pretty essential for every FPS ever created. Now we have Sweet, you know. You either love him or you hate him. He's one of the best Apex players on the game. It's really undebatable. And he's known for his hot takes on Twitter. He goes, I'm just going to say it, dying to aim assist close range has become more and more exciting as the seasons go on. And I love playing against controller players. Followed by he. And you know, he's just baiting the impressions, as any good content creator would. But I do understand what he's saying. A lot of controller players do not want to admit that aim assist benefits you up close. And that is just a complete lie because that is where it is most strong. Most strong? Is that a thing? I don't know, I probably just sounded like an ass. But aim assist benefits you very much up close. You'll notice this when you hip fire. As a controller player, I could fully admit that. Up close without aim assist, turn it off for one game and tell me how you do. You're not going to do too well. And now let's move on to a Reddit post. If you don't know about the Apex Legends subreddit, it is one of the most toxic places in the world where a lot of casual players like to express their opinions, especially about hating sweaty players, pro players, streamers, etc. But can we talk about controller aim assist? I'd like to see this disabled for crossplay. It's really unfair that players get game-supported aimbot just for using it. It's super obvious every time a controller player shoots you because their sprays lock on and they get way more headshots than M&K. While I can understand this user's frustration, that is just not true. Aim assist is not aimbot, it never was and it never will be. All aim assist does is slow down. All it does is slow down your ADS. I believe a good amount of this debate derives from the professional Apex community. I'm sure we're all aware of G2, formerly known as aim assist. Resulta, Gentrifying, and Design, they all came from console. They're three of the best, if not the best players in ALGS. No matter how individually skilled each of these dudes are, how many ALGS series they win, the titles they have, they're always going to have their critics simply because they play on controller. Now, do they joke about aim assist and bait for impressions all the time? Of course. Anyone in the realm of content creation with half a brain would. But should they be discredited of their ALGS titles? Hell nah, dude. If you would have seen the amount of work these guys put into becoming the players they are today, you'd fully respect them as I do. See, the thing is, Resulta, he used to abuse the G7 in 2 scrims 2 years ago with GamerGog was on. And while he may still be doing the same thing, he's on a much bigger platform and he's succeeding at it. Gentrifying, in my opinion, has always been one of the best players in this game. Although he may be a soft-spoken guy, you don't need to do much talking when you're swinging an 11-inch thigh slapper in million-dollar tournaments, decimating entire lobbies of professional players. And Designful? You either love him or hate him, but he has proven himself to be one of the best, if not the best slayer in ALGS. Congrats on the title, by the way, my dude. Now, let's get into my super valid opinion that nobody could ever discredit because I'm never wrong. Controller? You have 2 thumbs and you got aim assist. While your accuracy is better than most keyboard and mouse players, you lack movement, tracking, centering, and essentially every other important aspect in an FPS game. You know, in my opinion, there's a lower skill ceiling compared to keyboard and mouse players. And like I previously stated, 0.6 aim assist is far too much and is used as a crutch for most players. And the thing is with aim assist, the perk, it benefits the whole player base, not just a select minority who are able to perform, certain mechanics like those on keyboard and mouse. And to be honest, I think that's why a lot of keyboard and mouse players despise controller players. I also believe that a majority of the controller player base discredits aim assist, implying that it's not too beneficial. And on that, I call cap. If little Timmy can take down Monsoon in a gunfight, either his mom put some Adderall in his Cheerios or he really might have a slight advantage over keyboard and mouse players. And just because I ripped in a controller, doesn't mean I'm not going to get on you, keyboard and mouse. Look, you guys got the ability to macro. Example, tab strafing, scroll wheel shooting, things of that matter. And although tab strafing is getting removed, the point still stands. You have the ability to move and loot. Huge for armor swaps, huge for getting up resources when you're getting third-partied. And you got your whole arm and wrist to perform various actions in the game, plus a whole keyboard, dude. While there's no aim assist, using your whole wrist to aim allows you for insane tracking, centering, and using up-close guns like shotguns. If you ever go up against a good keyboard and mouse player with an EVA up close, say goodbye. Whether you got 0.6 or 0.4, those dudes 360 hit you with the EVA, it's gross. Now, let's not forget, jitter aiming is also a thing, which basically makes it so recoil control isn't a thing of the past. The accessibility of keybinds make it so you have unlimited options when it comes to finding your perfect settings. Meanwhile, controller players can't even reload behind a down teammate without accidentally rezzing them. Now, starting to wrap up the video, we're going to get into my final thoughts. But remember, like I said earlier, my opinions are 100% valid and I'm never wrong. So listen. While mouse and keyboard clearly outnumbers controller in advantages, only those who are exceptionally good at the game can perform most of them consistently. And I can admit that aim assist is something that benefits every single Timmy and Bobby on the game. You get it by default. Meanwhile, on keyboard and mouse, the clear number of advantages only benefit those who could do them consistently. Now, I do not want to discredit good controller players at all, because if you're a controller player that can master movement, master shooting, and master every aspect of the game, you are clearly a good player and you should not care what anybody says. Now, with the news of a possible aim assist nerf coming into Apex Legends in the near future, I'm curious what the state of the game will be. You know, judging how a large majority of the player base is either located on console or on a controller, I would like to see how many people end up uninstalling Apex if this possible nerf happens. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video at all, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe to the channel, I don't know. I'll be uploading 2 to 3 times a week. I'm excited to start this and I want to grow this channel. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day.